News is now saying that Hillary Clinton will win enough delegates in New Jersey to clinch the nomination, and thus history. She is the first woman to win a major party nomination in this country.
Joining us now to talk more about today's primaries, Democratic strategist Dave Jacobson, as well as Republican strategist John Thomas. Welcome to you both. So the AP comes out last night and says she's done it. Hillary Clinton has clinched the nomination because of the pledge delegates and the super delegates. Basically, like, kind of taking the steam out of any announcement of victory she wanted to make today. But what did that do for voters?
Well, talk about a bombshell last night, but I think really stomped on her parade for her big rally that she's having tonight in New York, where she's trying to turn out tens of thousands of people, where she was supposedly going to make that big announcement that she had made history within the country's 240 years of being, that, the first time ever a woman was the nominee of a major political party. But look, I think ultimately it is going to have an impact on turnout, at least for poll voters, right? People have been voting for a month now in terms of absentees. There's already over 3 million ballots that have been cast in terms of absentees. But I do think it's going to have somewhat of an impact in terms of depressing poll voting turnout.
On the one hand, Hillary hated it because AP stepped on her balance because she wanted to do this big ta-da today. On the other hand, Hillary should thank AP because AP may have saved California for Hillary Clinton, because if you're an independent voter and you think that this contest is over, why do you turn out to vote for Bernie?
So it looks like other outlets are jumping on the bandwagon here. Fox News also saying now she has enough delegates, but really that does include the super delegates. You see Bernie Sanders now on Hollywood Boulevard. That doesn't look like a guy that's really giving up at this point. I mean, what does this mean for Bernie Sanders moving forward? What decisions does he have to make here?
Right, well, look, and he's been campaigning saying, look, 400 super delegates made a decision in terms of who to support in this race, backing Hillary Clinton, before he even jumped in the race. Right? And so he's making a case, look, the super delegates ultimately shouldn't decide this election. But I think at the end of the day, Hillary Clinton has 3 million more votes than Bernie Sanders. She's won the popular vote. She's also beat him in terms of state pledge delegates. She's leading him by 300 delegates. And so
But he's saying he's going to get them to flip. That these delegates, he's on the phone all night, he's going to get them to flip. But even if he did manage to do that, wouldn't he be defying the will of the people that already voted?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's not going to happen. Hillary Clinton won this contest when she swept the South. Bernie Sanders has done incredibly well with white voters, but has never been able to clasp a key demographic in the Democratic Party, which is African Americans. He didn't do that in the South, and it's been dogging him ever since.
Right. No, I wholeheartedly agree, and particularly also with women voters and Latino voters. A lot of Bernie Sanders supporters are young people who don't have a history of turning out in these primaries, independent voters, and a lot of these primaries have been closed primaries where only Democrats can participate, and she's been running up the score in those.
Play to this narrative that the Bernie Sanders supporters have been saying all along, that it is a rigged system, that all along we have these super delegates, and they've always given Hillary this boost. So how fair is it? So does it make it difficult for many of these Bernie Sanders supporters to go, okay, Hillary's nominating, she's going to have to sort of like try to bring all of these other supporters to the trough?
Right, look, her job moving forward is to build unity within the party, not just with Democrats, though, but also with the Bernie Sanders independent voters. And I think that's why he's capitalizing on his leverage. And you're seeing the DNC, she of course needs him. The DNC and the Clinton campaign has tried to pacify Bernie Sanders. They've actually appointed 5 of his supporters to be on the platform writing committee for the convention platform that ultimately is going to draft the language that she's going to campaign on for the general election.
There are 2 critical groups Hillary Clinton needs to clinch the election in November. That is Latinos, that is millennials. Both are out of her control. So I think it's beyond Bernie Sanders. I think the only hope that she gets millennials, who really don't like her because she's part of the establishment, and Latinos, who are sometimes indifferent, is Donald Trump. If Donald Trump enrages those 2 voter groups to turn out, that may very well elect Hillary Clinton.
He seems to be playing into that.
He's trying his best this week.
Yes. So now, I mean, she has been going after Donald Trump in the recent weeks. She doesn't have to do much of a pivot to really attack him. But is he going to start going after her much harder now that Bernie might be out of the picture?
Yeah, I think he's going to target those millennials and try to target those people who are anti-establishment, think the system's rigged. A lot of Donald Trump's message is not a hard-right conservative on policy issues other than immigration. So what he's going to try to do is use his populist message and capture some of those Bernie Sanders supporters to say, look, the system's rigged, your guy got screwed, and I'm running against the system.
Right. I think one of the challenges that he has, though, is he continues to alienate Latino voters. And if you look at the data, the last Republican that won the White House was George Bush in 2004. He lost at 44% of the Latino vote. Mitt Romney lost the White House in 2012 because he was only able to capture 27% of that vote. Donald Trump's polling with Latinos with 20% of the vote. And so there's no sort of pathway that he can lock up the nomination in terms of the Electoral College unless he can find a way to appeal to more of those voters.
All right. Well, after today, once we get to the general election here, it's going to be a different game.
Indeed.
You guys will be back.
Great. Thank you.
John Thomas, Dave Jacobson, thank you so much.
We want to take a look out live. Bernie Sanders